Hey, Andy here. Today I want to share some pro tips for using Captain Chords Epic. These various pro tips will help to speed up your workflow and also allow you to be more creative when using Captain Chords Epic. If you like the pro tips, please let us know in the comments, and if you have any of your own tips to share, we'd love to hear them. Okay, let's get started with tip number 1. Chord voicing is the way in which you play the various notes which make up a chord. For example, A minor is made up of A, C and E, but there are more than one A, C and E note on a keyboard. The voicing is which notes you ultimately choose to press to make up the chord. I could make the bottom note C, play the A note an octave above, and then the E note between them. The chord is still A minor, but the way it's voiced and its order is different to simply playing A, C and E within one octave and in that order. So how can I use this knowledge to make better music? When you create a chord progression, some of the adjacent chords might be quite far apart, resulting in a disjointed chord progression that doesn't flow nicely. To remedy this, we can use the inversion buttons to change the voicing of the chord so that our progression sounds more fluid, but without changing any of the actual chords. Pro tip number 2. One awesome feature of Captain Chords Epic, which may not appear obvious, is the ability to split rhythm segments and apply different rhythm presets to various parts of the chord progression. Doing this adds variation and therefore interest to your music. Here's a simple chord progression. Now I'll break it up into different rhythm segments and apply different rhythm presets to each segment for a more interesting chord progression. Pro tip number 3. Sometimes inspiration and ideas can be a little on the short side. We all get writer's block from time to time. If, like me and just about every other producer on the planet, you'll probably have lots of unfinished DAW projects. Find a project with a chord progression you like, but feel that it could be more interesting. Here's one I made in Captain Plugins 5 a while ago. It's okay, but I feel it could be better. Export that chord progression as a MIDI file from your DAW. Now open Captain Chords Epic and import that MIDI file. You can now use the many rhythm presets to take your chord progression and turn it into something new. This can give inspiration for a completely new track, or to help finish the existing song. Pro tip number 4. So you have a really nice chord progression, but you want to try out some ideas without risking losing the original one. Of course you can use the undo button, but what if you want to use both or several ideas together in your song to create variations? Using undo isn't a viable solution. Duplicating workspaces is a great way to try out new ideas on the fly, without affecting the original chord progression idea. You can use this technique to create subtle variations of the main chord progression. This helps to maintain interest throughout your song. What's great about doing this in multiple workspaces is you can then mix and match the variations, which would be time consuming and uninspiring to try and do within a single workspace. And as you can hear, the bassline from Captain Deep Epic automatically changes to match the new workspace. Pro tip number 5. A question we get asked a lot is how to write chords to fit with a vocal. This can be done in a few simple steps. Here's how. First, find the key and scale of the vocal. This might be shown in the sample pack or website you download it from. If not, or you've recorded the vocals yourself, use Mixed In Key Studio Edition or Mixed In Key Live to find the key and scale. Make sure your DAW is set to the same tempo as the vocal and position your vocal so the downbeat is placed where you'd like the chords to start.
Tell me what you want from me. Tell me what you want from me, and I'll say what I've got. I'd give you every piece of me, but only if I'm yours.
This will vary from vocal to vocal, so it takes some experimenting to get a feel for how to align a vocal in terms of its timing. Using a simple drum loop while doing this makes it much easier. Now open Captain Chords Epic, set the key and scale and add some chords, one measure each as a starting point. Play the vocal, drums and chords in a loop around the vocal phrase, while listening for changes in the vocal that may signal an appropriate place to change the chord.
Tell me what you want from me. Tell me what you want from me, and I'll say what I've got. I'd give you every.
Now change the chords and their timing one at a time until the chord progression gels with the vocal.
Tell me what you want from me, and I'll say. Tell me what you want from me, and I'll say what I've got. I'd give you every.
This particular vocal fits great with one measure chord changes and a simple progression to harmonise the vocal. Often simple progressions work best, so start simple and make it more complex if required.
Tell me what you want from me, and I'll say what I've got. I'd give you every piece of me, but only if I'm yours.
I hope you found these pro tips helpful and they'll allow you to get more out of Captain Chords Epic. If you liked the video, please hit like and also subscribe to our channel for more Captain Plugins Epic tutorials. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.